Sunset Overdrive might be coming to PlayStation 4, Sunset Overdrive 2 could be coming to PlayStation 5, and that is all Microsoft's fault. What's going on, everybody? This is Steve Sterling with Sentinel17 Gaming. Thanks for joining me for this video. I greatly appreciate it. Now, for those of you that may have never played Sunset Overdrive, because you were PlayStation gamers, completely understandable. It was an Xbox One exclusive that came out in October of 2014, and despite achieving a sort of cult status among Xbox gamers, it just didn't do enough numbers for Microsoft to feel that it was a franchise worth investing in long term. Now, keep in mind, this was back when Microsoft was doing stupid things like not giving Remedy the Alan Wake sequel that they wanted, not giving Quantum Break a sequel, and canceling Scalebound, although Scalebound isn't necessarily Microsoft's fault alone. It was also complicated. I guess there were a bunch of issues between Microsoft and Platinum Games, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. This video is specifically about Sunset Overdrive and, of course, Insomniac. Now, I did bring this up on Twitter, and a few people feel that I'm wrong about this, that it's not Microsoft's fault. Well, unfortunately, I believe they're mistaken about the situation, and I'm going to explain why. Now, previous to Sunset Overdrive, Insomniac had made Ratchet & Clank, and they were working with PlayStation. Now, yes, they weren't exclusively a Microsoft studio when they made Sunset Overdrive. However, if they were working with Microsoft and they were making Sunset Overdrive 2, when Microsoft went on this acquisition spree to acquire all of these studios, who do you think one of the first studios they would have acquired would have been? Obviously, Insomniac. They have a lot of experience making high-quality, open-world games, and that's exactly the type of game that you want to be on your platform, whether it's an Xbox One, an Xbox Series console. And again, I think that's part of the reason why they acquired Bethesda, because Bethesda makes experiences that have a lot of mainstream appeal, like Insomniac games do. So the question still remains, how is Insomniac going to PlayStation Microsoft's fault? Well, Insomniac wanted to make a Sunset Overdrive 2. Microsoft would not even entertain the idea. Now, Insomniac was passionate about Sunset Overdrive. It was a new IP, it was exciting, it was very well put together. The people who have played it really liked it. And Microsoft just was completely not hearing anything about a sequel. They just weren't, because it didn't put out the sales numbers. Now, keep in mind, this is before Phil Spencer went on the acquisition spree that we've seen has added 20, 30, 40, 60, 200, 300, who knows how many fucking studios, okay? Excuse my language. But he's acquired a lot of studios. But, in my opinion, not all of these studios were necessary. Sometimes quality is better than quantity. Now, PlayStation understands this, hence why they acquired Insomniac. So Insomniac goes after having the idea of a Sunset Overdrive sequel shut down. You know, their morale has to be low after this. They go to PlayStation. PlayStation lets them make Spider-Man, which was a character of their choosing. And immediately thereafter, they are snatched up as a PlayStation exclusive studio. Hence, Sunset Overdrive 2, if it ever sees the light of day, which it probably will, going to PlayStation 5 is the fault of Microsoft, because if they had snatched them up when they had the chance, Sunset Overdrive 2 would have been on the Xbox Series console instead of the PlayStation 5. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I own both consoles last gen, and when I get current/next gen consoles, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. And I think a lot of people are anyway, so if Sunset Overdrive 2 does come to PlayStation 5, that's fine with me, but for the people that just want one console, they might be a little salty about that, and you can't really blame Phil Spencer. I would just say blame the people at Microsoft that aren't gamers and don't really care about it, that made that decision before he really got the ability to do what he does. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. Check out the other videos I have up. And also feel free to follow me on Twitter at Sentinel17.